welcome everybody into another episode here of the World Cup Matchday fixture previews, where we've been picking the games every single day and previewing them. He's of course Matt, and I'm of course Jason. How's it going, Matt?
It's going well. Yeah. Kind of a one in one day on officials and then had some nice live stuff that happened. So, kind of been a theme in the tournament really, but, yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bit hard done, I guess, after the Canada Belgium match. I just think that, like, I don't know how VAR messes up something.
Yeah,
I thought that it was supposed to be kind of as close to perfect as you can get in terms of a system.
yeah, right.
And they fail, like they miss that. Like, I don't know. That just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. The VAR in that game, but then also just the chances in there. We should have hit that over 2.5. Man, Canada was all over them, all over them. They're gonna be tough. I think for the rest of those two teams, obviously in that group, Morocco and Croatia. So, boy, Canada looked good. It was just like earlier in the day when Japan Germany was sitting there watching that game on TikTok, and Japan was right in that game all along. They were never being outplayed by Germany and kept it close and was able to nab two late. Obviously, thankfully, they did put Morocco Croatia in at 4 a.m. We talked about that one yesterday. We talked about that one being a snooze fest. That's exactly what that was. So good thing that one was on at 4 a.m. And yeah, the other one, Spain, Costa Rica. I obviously took a big fat swing and miss on that one on the under. Looked like a clown as Costa Rica's defense got completely cut. Keylor Navas did not matter because the defense just was through like Swiss cheese. So yeah, took it on the chin on that game. But yeah, otherwise, hit that parlay. Hit Rudiger. Credit you on that Rudiger play. You told me that one in a text message, and I fired that one out as a 2 unit play, taking the big Rudiger there against the Japan. So great play there, Matt.
Yeah, I think that that's something to try to keep in mind. Really, I think going up against some of the smaller teams in general, and looking and I just what are your thoughts? I guess, Jason, after watching the first few days, like what are some themes that you've come across? Because that's something I think to look for is some of the big aerial targets. I feel like I've seen a lot more set pieces, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
corners. It's slow buildups. You're just trying to find a theme because we have to handicap so many more games to go.
I still think the theme generally has been the under, which is what I thought was a theme was going to be under. And then something you cashed in that United States Wales game, cards. I mean, you're seeing these countries fighting for the badge, fighting for the nation and the country, and cards are coming out too. So, sticking to the unders and generally sticking to maybe an over on cards. And corners is obviously a good look in there if you get one of these sides that are, overmatched. But yeah, I think those are
Yeah.
some things. And then live betting. You and I've shared some personally on Twitter with people. You and I have gone back on texting on other ones. Live betting's been the way to go. If you're watching the match, you're getting a good feel, just take a stab at it. Once it becomes that good price.
Totally, totally agree. Like I think that that's been my biggest takeaway is basically, look, the market is super efficient right now. It is incredibly efficient. Every single bet that you look at when you're going in and trying to find something, it is priced properly. Okay, so you just need to know that going into it. And sometimes you've got to, when you're going into one of your under 2.5s, you're going to have to say, look, I don't want to sacrifice and go down to the two or the two and a quarter.
Yeah.
I want the two and a half, and I'm going to have to pay for the two and a half. And that's just, you have to go into it sometimes like that because this market is it's just super efficient. Like the over two and a half in Germany, Japan, it's priced at minus 175. And I took a little bit of that just based off of, look, I thought it was a high scoring game
Mm-hmm.
going into it. I thought that Japan were I thought they could get a goal. I didn't think that they would win. I thought that Germany would eventually be the one that to have two goals and Japan to have one.
Yeah.
But just kind of just saying like, look, I'm just not going to care so much about trying to be getting my bets to close to like plus 100. Of course, I always want that as you want to be able to take that kind of risk away as much as you can, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in these really efficient markets, I think you got to just sometimes stick to your guns and say, look, I think this is the best play. It's if it's under minus 200 or whatever, like, look, I'm going to rock with it. I think it's just the
Yeah.
right way to go. And yeah, so I think that live has been really nice. Watching these matches, like I just had a little bit of Kyle Laren to have a shot on target
Mm.
there live when he came on for Canada. That was at plus 100. Just something like that, like looking at it and say, look, I think that they're getting after him. Laren's going to be central here, just like earlier in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Alvaro Morata, just coming in. he's still hungry. He wants to start his
I know,
World Cup
right?
off right.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting. It opened up at 2-1 right when he came on. I'm like, that's not a great price. Let's wait here 10, 15 minutes and just see the flow of this game.
Well, wait
And
until he
then,
misses his opportunity too, and then the price
yeah,
gets
wait till
good.
he
Wait
misses.
till
Yeah,
he misses
I
his one.
swear.
I know
That
you were
guy's
pissed when he missed it. You thought they were at your cash.
Yeah, that guy with his right foot for whatever reason, he kind of sucks. But man, that left foot was pinged perfectly, and we cash a plus 380. Just like that, boom.
Boom.
After already cashing like a little Ferran Torres, because I was
Okay.
trying to figure out who's taking the pens here for Spain.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And
Pre-match, I
it
didn't
did
know.
end up matter. It didn't because he ended up scoring a regular goal too, but it did matter for my bet just to get in and out of there in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
Ferran Torres was the penalty taker, and if Torres and Morata are on the field at the same time, it'll be interesting to see who gets that. It'd probably be Morata, but yeah,
Yeah.
we'll just have to kind of wait and see. And those are all just little things, like
Pick up.
just trying to grind as much as you can, really.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, very much for sure. I put together a same game parlay there in Belgium, Canada. The goal scorers, I had Alphonso Davies. Then he misses that penalty. And then remember in the first half, like late, like Tillemans, Belgium had that 3-on-1, and Tillemans was on the right. It was Carrasco, and he just didn't slip him in. If he slips him in, it's 1-on-1 with the keeper. I could have right on the jump had a 2-0 game, and both my goal scorers paying. But yeah, it's still been a great World Cup. Been enjoying it. We've got CW Wood. He asked if Canada, based on their effort today, obviously against Belgium, can knock off Croatia or Morocco. Like nobody was up at 4 a.m. watching that snooze face. That's why we bet under 2.5, cashed easily. I'm sure Morocco's got nothing. Canada, from what I saw against Belgium, sure they'll hang against both those teams. CW would. So whatever bet maybe you're thinking, yeah, they were all over Belgium in that first half. I thought they were going to be the one that gets a goal. That's why thankfully when you're betting these live overs, don't do like Canada to get a goal because it's like way better price. I just did the over, and Belgium was the one. I would have thought Canada for sure would have been the one that cashed that bet. But
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, no, I think that Canada have a shot. I really do. I
yeah.
think they've got a decent shot. I think they have more firepower up top than both, probably Croatia and
Well, you see what they were
Morocco.
doing with Davies when Belgium was trying to play it up out of the back. They brought Davies way up to do all the pressing on that left hand side. And his pace way up top for them. It was killing Belgium in that first half.
I cannot
Killing
believe
them.
that they didn't go with Jonathan David to take the penalty over. Like, why are you taking Davies there? In
Yeah,
terms of a penalty taker, like I get that he's like the bigger profile player, but you have a team, you have a guy that's a striker who's
get your
been in
striker
form for
going.
last year.
Yeah,
You have a guy that's a left back for club.
yeah.
That makes absolutely no sense to me. I hope that they practiced that a lot and said, look, maybe
It wasn't a good
Davies is
penalty.
better.
It wasn't a good penalty. I mean, if any keeper guesses the right way, they're always going to make that stop. It's a comfortable save for Courtois. It's
And it's
relatively
for
comfortable when you go the right way. But I'm saying any
I
keeper that
mean,
goes the right way, I think. But I hear you. Yeah.
yeah, no, I just don't understand. Yeah, why it's not David there, and why is that Davies? That makes literally no
Yeah.
sense to me.
I called the sports book and told them I put him in the same game parlay, and that's why it was Davies. They made the call. Then they do what they always do. They got right to the ref and said, "All right, we got to go with Davies, boys." All right, let's jump on in. As Ryan says, was off on those last Super Bowl games, so it's time to turn that around, Ryan. We're going to turn it around. We're going to select some games over the course of Thursday to Sunday, and then again sprinkle in a rapid fire at the end. We'll give you the score prediction for every game for Thursday to Sunday, and that's good because it lets you know who we think will win the game, whether we think an over and under hit. Then obviously if both teams will score. But one of the games we want to talk about is Thursday. It's going to be that 7 a.m. game. So when you get that bird in the oven, why don't you go ahead and flip on the World Cup and watch Uruguay take on South Korea. I've given out the money line bet. Have you joined me, Matt? Or I know you've talked highly of it. Have you officially joined that Uruguay money line?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on your money line.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I got it at minus 126. Feel fine about that. The market has moved. Like it's one of those where it's like now it's 15 cents difference, and do you still like it at that? And I don't know if I do as much, but
I did,
I liked it yesterday.
yeah, I gave it out, I don't know, a good while ago. I still like it. Obviously Nunez up top will be leading the way. We've talked about the firepower that comes off the bench there, and Suarez and Cavani should you need it. Love the midfielders. Everybody loves Valverde there at Real Madrid. He's in the midfielder with Lucas Torreira next to him and Bentoncourt. I like everything about it. And then their defense is more than enough to shut down South Korea. Maybe South Korea gets one, but I think Uruguay is going to get 2, 3, over the course of the game. They're going to get it done. So if you haven't hopped on that Uruguay money line, Matt and I are both on it. Just seems like a really good bet. This is really good when you got to put in another game on Thursday. Worth mentioning: Brazil, Serbia. Everybody sees Brazil going deep, so I wanted to make sure we highlighted their first appearance here in this World Cup. Matt, I think most people maybe will wonder on this game. People are going to see Brazil winning. People are going to see Brazil goals. But is this maybe a both teams to score?
I'm not as interested. I was actually trying to find something still on this Uruguay match really
Okay,
quick because I,
sure.
I
Dig
think
up
that
his.
this is kind of one of those where, again, you've got a team that is aerially better than the other team. Okay. Like they're bigger, they're taller. You're going to find some corners here. You're going to find somebody like a Diego Godin or a Jimenez
Mm-hmm.
uh, coming up on a set piece and getting quality service from somebody like a Valverde on these set pieces, which is so crucial. I mean, if you guys watched the USA match,
Mm-hmm.
Christian Pulisic could not give good corner service
Everyone went to
whatsoever.
the
He
first
was getting the
defender.
ball in the freaking area.
I
And
know.
so that was really annoying. I don't know why Pulisic is on corners for us. He needs to not be on them anymore. Um, but I'm just trying to find the odds right now. My FanDuel app is kind of bugging out a little bit. But like I think that those are some ways to attack it, just like how Rudiger was, just like how Konate was.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these defensively weaker sides, and especially like height wise, I think there's a clear advantage. And I know one thing is that Jimenez and Godin are fantastic in the air. They've
Yeah. Oh yeah.
always been. I don't care how much older Godin is now. I still know that the boy can jump. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like and get his head on something. Um, so I'm just trying to find that. But yeah, we can move on. But I just think that that's something to keep in mind. Is
You
let's see here.
you
I've
were.
got it now.
I'm like
It's
it. I'm seeing on points bet just a shot at plus 115 for a shot plus 115
a shot.
for a shot.
Holy
Then
shit.
just go over the end line in some fashion, or maybe go on
See,
target.
wait,
I don't
hold on,
care.
hold on. See, like there we go. So just a shot on points bet plus 115. That line needs to get hit right now. This is at minus 220
I
on
know
FanDuel.
that's been the discrepancy. That
Minus 220 on FanDuel. So like, yes, I want to like wait and like check the box and make sure that Godin is starting, but like that's what we should be doing right now is like finding out, is Diego Godin projected to start here? And if he doesn't start and end up playing, then like that bet voids out anyways. But
yeah, you
like I'm
don't sub
telling
in
you,
a
I think
center back unless something crazy happens. So yeah,
that's a that's a bad line.
we've got
That's a
Jimenez,
bad
his
line.
his partner there in the
What
center
what do you
back partnership
what do
is
you have
minus
on
105,
Jimenez?
minus 105.
-25. And you're looking at like I'm seeing they have Araujo at -140. Don't know if he's ready to start yet. I don't think he is.
I
They've
think
got
he's
Jose Jimenez at -300, Jason.
FanDuel. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. These
which
are
is a
points bet's been
more
way better
efficient
for
book.
this market. Yes, points bet has been way better for this market for player props or during this World Cup. Way better. All right. Well,
I'm gonna have to maybe get on that now because I don't want to see that move. But I do think like the only guessing game that you have there is who starts between Araujo, Jimenez, and Godin. But still, like they're gonna have some corners, they're gonna have some good service, and those boys are gonna be able to get up. They're tall. When you look at Nunez,
mm-hmm.
like these boys are much more athletic, and I think that that's the difference here.
Okay. Wow. I didn't realize the. Um, okay. All right. What? Let's circle back then. This Brazil Serbia. Like I said, everybody's got them probably making some form of a deep run. People even have them winning the dang on thing. So we see them beating Serbia, scoring goals. What the question to you was, what about both teams to score? People thinking maybe Serbia. We speak highly of their offense, but Brazil's pretty good. We broke down their squad on the preview show. Is this a just stick it to maybe Brazil and a team total, or maybe a halftime, full time, or what? What are we doing with this one?
This is really the thing that everyone looks at when they look at this Brazilian squad. They're like, wow, Neymar and Antony and Richarlison and all of these guys. But they don't look at the back line, and it's
I know,
just as strong.
I
It's
know.
just as strong, if not stronger. I mean, seriously, if you're looking at Alisson, um, you're looking at Thiago Silva, like you're looking at Casemiro or Fabinho in that middle role. They have so many options here, and it's kind of really just about pulling up the Brazilian squad to where like it's going to be difficult for Serbia to score. It really is. Like I think that Serbia is going to be in a sit back and protect mode because Brazil, their offense is so strong. But This is not a really good feel. I don't have a good feel for this game. I just have, the future on Brazil. I think that the only way to attack this one is just by attacking the total and hoping that Serbia contribute. I think that Brazil can do it on their own if they're in the mood and they're feeling good. I
Hmm.
think that the over 2.5 can get there on their own. I think that Serbia does pose a threat, especially on set pieces. Like, because you look at guys like Vlahovic and
Hmm.
Milinkovic Savic, like those are big dudes that like Brazil will even have some trouble with dealing with in the air. Um, but yeah, other than that, really just no feel for that. I would only be on the overs here.
Okay, I'm just looking up a few things. Looks like the over and not price shopping is minus 140. You can get Brazil, their individual team total over 2.5 at plus 165. Plus 165.
Yeah, minus 134 on an over 2.5 in FanDuel. So it's not that's not too bad. I was actually expecting something a little bit more than that.
You can get a classic bet that people like is taking the money line and parlaying it with over 1.5. You can get Brazil money line parlay with over 1.5 at minus 145.
Not bad.
Not
Not
bad.
not a bad way
Not bad.
in. I think that's more than fair. Like
Yeah.
that's kind of the juice that we're talking about at the beginning of the show that you're going to have to maybe suck it up really and just say, look, I think that I like this angle. I have to pay for this angle, and that's fine.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lock that in. And of course, Serbia has a chance. We've seen other nations in this tournament have chances, but you know,
Absolutely. I
Brazil
think
should
that
certainly get it
Brazil
done,
being
though.
priced at minus 230 right now shows that Serbia have a chance.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. All right. Actually, I'm getting a better price because I'm not on PointsBet anymore, and of course, minus 143, slightly over at Barstool's, minus 143. So, all right, just keep following us, of course. Maybe fire out a bet for that one. All right, Matt, let's jump it off Thursday and get to Friday. Everybody's a little hungover, a little stuffy in the belly from Thanksgiving. They just want to sit down a little afternoon and catch a little England versus United States on Friday afternoon. Not a detrimental game to United States hopes. If they were to lose to England, they could still get out if Iran was to do something against Wales, and then obviously we have a chance then to do something against Iran. So in that scenario, you would then assume if England's able to beat us, they can beat Wales as well. So not detrimental, right? Just need a little bit of help here from Iran if we can't beat England. I think, Matt, I saw enough from England to obviously like their offense just like I liked it coming in the tournament, and B, having issues with their defense that Iran was able to get them for 2 goals. I think at plus money, I saw it plus 130 earlier today, a few hours ago. Both teams are scoring over 2.5 and not having to worry about a winner, even though I think England will win. I think coming in with something like that at a good plus 130. What are you thinking here for England, United States?
I don't hate that. I think that USA are going to be a little bit more competitive than what people think. And I think that the market agrees with that sentiment. If you look at like England have been minus 175 throughout. I just see actually it just moves on FanDuel from minus 175 to minus 180 as we're speaking about this match.
FanDuel is
Um,
creeping on his stream. Where's FanDuel at? They're creeping. They're one of these 10 people creeping.
they're moving the line where I think it should be moved. I think that that should be up and over minus 200. I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that. I think that there's still a touch of value on England at minus 180. I do believe that. But there's a couple positives. It looks like Harry Kane might not go. That
Mm-hmm.
is what is being reported, that he had an ankle scan. He was able to carry on. I would expect him probably to still go or feature it here at some point, but
This
it would be
guy's
a really nice boost to have him out.
this guy's ankles is like Derrick Rose in the NBA. Jeez, they're both glass, man. His ankles, that
Yeah,
guy. I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah.
that. That's big. Okay,
That's
so
big.
that's
That
big.
would be huge for USA. It'd be huge for USA. It just you have to break down the schematic style of this game, and like you have to ask yourself, can I trust USA in a deep lying defense? And it's hard. It's hard to get around trusting this team. Like I wouldn't, if anybody's going to do and they want to play England alt lines,
Mm-hmm.
I'd say go ahead. I think that that's more than fair. I think that
Okay.
England can win this match by a decent amount. But it's very interesting that the market is staying firm with USA, like as being like somewhat competitive here with
Yeah.
England. Like USA can compete. This is a different USA. I would expect that we would make a slight tweak. Like I wouldn't expect Sargent here.
Could our best player
I
Rania
would
see the
leave.
pitch? Can our best attacker see the pitch and Sargent come
I
off
hope. I hope
against a
he does.
championship side in Norwich?
I hope so. I hope so. I hope that
Could have
this is not a match to be able to go out there, I think, and have a central striker. This is a counter-attacking match. If he hasn't prepared for this match for the last 6 months, then I don't know what he's doing, because this is a sit back, and hit him on the break with Pooley and Aronson and Weah. Weah is a beautiful counter-attacking player.
Yeah.
He is somebody
Yeah.
that can get out, and you have to find the weaknesses on this English side, and I think it's on their left side. I think that Luke Shaw is absolutely get atable.
Don't do
You
my
know what
boy.
I mean?
Don't
I
do
think
my boy like that.
that boy is not good enough. That boy is not good enough. He can be Weah can expose Luke Shaw.
Yeah.
I truly believe that. So it's about those things have got to be to a T.
I'll
You've
be
got to
finding a
have Ream
Liverpool
on
guy that I
fire
can pick
again.
on. Jordan Henderson, man, I think we're gonna run right at Jordan Henderson. Actually, right down the middle of
Oh
that.
man, we're on the same side this time. Would you?
You going after my boy Shaw? I gotta find a Liverpool guy somewhere on this pitch and get
We're,
after him.
we're talking about our boy Timothy Weah right now. Okay? We're not talking about Manchester United and Liverpool. We're trying to find any kind of weakness that this English side has,
Yeah.
and they've got a few. I mean, their defense isn't. It's not like, I mean, yeah, the fact that they did concede twice, like you mentioned, to Iran. I mean, it's still, what's going on there.
Mm-hmm.
I
I'm
think
going
that
both
you're
teams to score
right.
over 2.5 plus 130-ish. I got to price shop it again. I think I'm rolling with that, not having to worry about a winner. I was on this match against United States, Wales. We were both on it. You hit your best bet of over cards. I hit my best bet of under the goals, under 2.5. I'm going with
I
this
think
time.
you're
Both
right.
teams score over 2.5.
I think you're right. I do. I would probably be a little greedier, and I would say both teams to score in England to win at plus 240. This match is, again, like when we get back down to the crux of it, it's about, yes, we're not really trying. If we go into the mentality here of trying to beat England, we are going to get blitzed. It's about, can we go in here and grab a point? Can we go in here and be competitive and stay in this tournament? Okay. Because this is what it's all down to between Wales and USA. Who can beat Iran the most and who can lose to England the least?
Yeah, exactly.
That is all that freaking matters right now. Okay. So if we lose to England by 1 goal, I would call it a mini victory.
Yeah.
I really would, because I think that Wales will lose to England as well. I think that we have more attacking quality to maybe get at Iran more so than Wales does. But then Wales' defense is a little bit better to be able to withstand like some England pressure. So it's very interesting. I just hope that USA can get out of here, like where this market is. It's a +1 Asian handicap. I hope it just lands there kind of, and just we lose by 1 goal. We still have our pride. We're still feeling really good about ourselves going into Iran, because that match is going to be everything, and we need to blitz them. We need to beat them 3-0. Something like that is what it feels like.
Yeah.
Because then you also are fearful of England collecting 6 points, already having the group done, and what are they going to do in that third match versus Wales? Are they going to coast? Are they going to play? Are they going to? I wouldn't mind if they rotated and got guys in that really wanted to play and show Southgate something. Like that would be the best case scenario for USA, is that they would rotate.
That's a good point. Looking ahead,
there's so many little things going in. This group is it's awesome. It really is. This one is, even Iran is still in it. I think Iran, I don't know if we're going to be talking about that match, but I think that they can be really competitive here too. I kind of like them on the double chance against Wales.
Nice. You just had a price shop in here while Matt was talking. The USA +1.5. That's about -200 around, -190 looking around. The bet I'm talking about.
The other way against England.
Yeah.
I would rather have England money line than that.
The over 2.5 in both teams to score is +145 now. Not price shopping, but +145. So again, more bets that I know personally I'll be adding on Twitter. I know Matt will as well. So I know you guys are already following Matt. Let's move over now to a couple of Saturday matches. Let's talk about France and Denmark. France and Denmark, big match right there. I know we've got the forecast of the future bet. We both got the same one of France 1, Denmark 2. Denmark did not get vital points up against Tunisia, ones that you would have really liked to have seen them get. They obviously only got one. Low scoring, so yeah, right on that. But now going up against France, France is going to get the 3 points that I made. I don't even know if Denmark's going to score. I know that was not the worst of the two games of that day because Mexico Poland was the boring 0-0, but a Denmark Tunisia one wasn't too far behind it, from what I saw. So I think France gets the job done here. If you want to take France by the margin, probably well within your right over 90 minutes. I see them winning by a little bit of a margin. So what about here? What about for you with France Denmark?
It's not a match that I'm really overly getting involved in. I think that the market again is really efficient. I think that Denmark, they've beaten France. They feel very good about playing them head to head. I truly believe that the Danes will go into this with a decent amount of confidence, knowing that we've played the side multiple times over the last few years and have been fine.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I had to play it, I would be on Denmark, probably on the double chance. But I don't think that the price is great. It's minus 110. If I had to be on one side or the other, like France money line or Denmark double chance, I'd probably actually be on the Danes.
Okay.
But I think that the only way to attack it.
No, sorry. I was just gonna say I just see that the money line for France is minus 115, so I do not care if they win by the margin anymore. If I bet it, I'm just taking the money line. I didn't realize it was that.
Yeah. I think this is a weird one to attack. I think it's just going to be a watching brief and seeing like if I can find anything in play. Like like I had some Mbappe anytime. I think that Mbappe's in great form right now. I think that you can't go wrong betting on Kylian Mbappe to score.
Right.
Or assist. Like there's that market too. That's pretty fun to attack, and it is minus 125 on Kylian Mbappe to score or assist.
Wow.
I think that that's more than fair. I would rather be on that than France money line. I would rather just target Mbappe.
Okay.
But then also somebody like Giroud, who's really in form right now. He's going to get all the service. Plus 170 to score on the money line, like that appeals. I thought that the best player for France, though, in the match day one was Griezmann.
Oh yeah,
they were kind of bringing him back into the middle, letting him pick passes. He was playing a center attacking mid role. He was awesome.
He keeps it moving so good. He keeps the ball moving.
Yeah, he looked back to his old self there. So yeah, nothing really though overly exciting. I think in this match, I kind of just hope that France gets the job done, but I really wouldn't hate like the draw here we kind of need the Danes to pick up some points here, Jason, for our first and second win cast, because if Tunisia takes care of business against Australia, then the Danes are going to be on match day 3 really needing to probably beat Australia like France did, like that kind of thing. I think that they can, but not like France did.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, cool. Good thing right there in the France-Denmark match. Let's circle back here and catch Ryan's question just real quick on this Godin shot prop. I've done, while Matt was speaking, took up 2 different sites on their lineup prediction, and they've got him and Jimenez both as the starting center backs on both of those sites. So I'm going to roll with him. The one here on the screen, Godin, he's the one at plus money at PointsBet at plus 105. So, yeah, that's an official bet for me for one shot plus 105 over at PointsBet. Tweet it out at some point tonight. Yeah. But yeah, that's an official bet. I'm rolling.
All it needs to do is just hit his head. If it just hits his head.
Somebody asked me on Matt, and this was a great question. Maybe on TikTok Live, does a blocked shot count, or does it have to? I'm thinking it has to go over the end line, or obviously be on target, save. Does a blocked shot count? Probably not.
No, I don't believe that it does. I think that to have the shot on target, it's got to be saved by the goalie basically, and then just to have the shot, you're looking for it just to hit his head, and if he skies it over the bar, you don't care. It's a winner. So
that's what I'm saying though. But off his head, off a defender's head, it falls in the middle of the pitch. Is that a shot? A blocked shot is a shot.
I don't believe that would count. I don't believe it would count.
I think it has to go over the end line to me, or has to be saved by the keeper.
For what? Just a shot on target.
Just a shot. Just a shot.
It just needs to just go over the end line almost. I think.
Right.
I think that's really what it needs. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's jump into another match here. We're 2 away from doing rapid fire. Let's catch another one on Saturday. Argentina, Mexico. game that we're interested in from a lot of futures, from Argentina to win the group paired with this Argentina. I know you've got to collect all 9 points that unfortunately already down. We've got some player props as well. In general, though, everybody wants to see Argentina in this Mexico game. Mexico, Poland, boring, completely waste of everybody's 90 minutes. And then Argentina done in hard on by VAR in the first half, completely done in hard, and then just couldn't match Saudi Arabia in the second half. Expect them to obviously have a bounce back and then maybe even be better in the second half, knowing that if they're up in the locker room, they can't come out flat like that because Saudi Arabia jumped on them. Mexico, anybody could jump on them. Arabia looked obviously good in that second half, but I do expect a bounce back. It's going to be tougher. Mexico, you wouldn't think is going to be better than a Saudi Arabia club, but I'm gonna don't know. I'm seeing minus 165 here on the money line.
That's a good price.
That maybe with paired like an over 1.5, I would like get it, or maybe just Argentina. Do you like Argentina winning on the bounce back? What do you think here?
I think that just rocking with the don't complicate it aspect of minus 165 looks pretty damn good to me.
So you do like
I'm seeing
Argentina?
minus 180. I'm seeing 180 on FanDuel. So 165 looks damn good. I think that this is just as simple as look, I want to fade the CONCACAF sides. Talked about it in the futures pod.
Mm-hmm.
I want to fade the CONCACAF sides. We look at Canada. Yes, Canada looked good against Belgium, but they were still extremely naive on the defensive side. Mexico gets the one thing that you will expect though here. Mexico will get up for this game. Obviously, this is it's a 360 match from what you're going to find versus Poland, where Poland says, "Here, Mexico, you come and break us down." Mexico can't. They can't break down you, me, or 9 other friends of ours. They suck with the ball. But Mexico are a little bit better, in counterattacking and transitions. So I expect Mexico to get up, though, raise their level a little bit here against Argentina. And you just have to ask the
Yeah.
question, is that enough? And I don't think it is. I really don't. I think that fading these CONCACAF sides, you saw what happened with Costa Rica today in a sit back mode. So
Mm-hmm.
now Mexico are going to have to be really resolute and sit back. I just don't see it. I definitely see a bounce back Argentina performance. I wouldn't go crazy on it, but I think it's worthy of a 1 unit bet.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. All right. We see that one the same, and we'll see if we can't pull the trigger a little bit. That one, make that an official bet. Let's move over to our last match day that we want to go ahead and preview: Spain and Germany. So all these actions or these games today. Obviously, you got to take in the quality of the opponent there in Costa Rica. If we come to find out that they're not worthy of an under 2.5, and they're not going to keep anything under. That Costa Rica team was god awful. Whoever they're playing against in this tournament, we're not going to be able to preview their shows over the holiday Thanksgiving, but just take the over in that match for their team total. So Spain will come back to earth here against Germany. Germany were not the better side against Japan, but that doesn't mean necessarily Japan was the better side against Germany. I thought that was a pretty even match, and Japan just came out ahead 2-1. So this one will be a good one. This one feels like one of those whoever gets a goal maybe can hold it out, and it's a both teams to score no maybe, and maybe you get even lucky that it could go 0-0. I don't know if I'm expecting a ton of goals. Like I said, a big step up obviously in quality here from Costa Rica to Germany. So that one will bring this toughness in. What do you think, Matt?
It's a tough match. It really is, but I think that it's kind of one of those where, look, everyone watched today. Everyone sees Germany, they lose to Japan, and it's like this massive upset, but it really wasn't that big of an upset in my opinion. It was a nice upset by Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also see on the flip side, Spain dust an absolutely dreadful Costa Rica.
Right.
So the market is reacting a little bit and saying that that Spain is 50 cents better than Germany now. Like I think that this matchup just a few days ago was probably right there, smack dab in the middle. Maybe you would say it would be like plus 160 to Spain and plus 170 to Germany. So what I'm saying basically is I think that there's a couple cents here of value on Germany. I would be with Germany like in the plus a quarter market. You can find that probably at about minus 135, minus 140. Just getting the two kind of outcomes of win or draw on your side, basically, not the full double chance because that's just a little too juicy. But I would maybe trust Germany here a little bit, but I thought that Spain got it right today. They had their tactics set perfectly. So
Mm-hmm.
all in all, what it comes down to in this match, it's most likely going to be a pass for me. It'll be a fun one to watch.
Yeah.
It's going to be a definite lineup checker. Like
Could
I
be a
wouldn't be
live
going and
over.
betting this.
It could be a live
Yeah,
over hammer
yeah,
if you think there's a
it
good
could
game of
be.
football. You know.
I mean, Germany are going to have to come out and do something. Like Germany are really, they're in a worse position, I think, than obviously Argentina. Because I think that their group is a little bit tougher. I think
Mm-hmm.
that Japan is going to take care of Costa Rica with no issue, and Japan's going to be sitting here with 6 points.
Mm-hmm.
So if Japan is sitting there with 6 points, and Germany only collect 1 point from this match, they are out basically because then they're going to have to do exactly what Spain just did and win 7-8-0
Right.
to Costa Rica. And Costa Rica will most likely be a little bit better than what they were today. And I don't think that Germany or Japan, like, no one can do what Spain did probably in this tournament. Actually, Spain against a low block, sitting against a team sitting with 11 men behind the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Spanish side today was the best that anyone could beat. Really, they set up perfectly. They've got their tactics spot on, and they had the right players. They didn't go with a central striker. They didn't give a shit. They wanted a bunch of midfielders that could pass the ball around, and they just cooked it right by
Mm-hmm.
Costa Rica. So all in all, Germany will have to come out and they're going to have to really try to win this match. And that's dangerous. I think that there's a touch of value on Germany at plus a quarter, but it's probably not for me. It's going to be a watching brief, and I like the other match more.
Okay. Yeah, just to remind everybody, pre-tournament to win the group, Spain was about minus 115, and Germany was about plus 105. So Spain's, even going into it, obviously removing the results today, people thought Spain would tick better. I'm kind of with you. I kind of lean on the Germany side, so we'll see what it is. That game's not until Sunday, so plenty of time. Let's get into a rapid fire, Matt. Give a few people a score prediction of every single game, Thursday to Sunday. Score prediction Thursday to Sunday. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on these preview shows, whether you're catching us live or catching us on the replay. The next time we'll be back is Monday after the holiday. I have to talk to Matt, but I'm sure we'll just stick to the same 4 p.m. But we'll sync up on that later. But I'm pretty sure it'll just be 4 p.m. on Monday. So, all right, let's jump on into this Thursday game score prediction here, Matt. Switzerland, Cameroon. Just whenever you get something, throw it out. I'll throw something out as well. I'll throw out 1-1.
Yeah, I don't know about the score prediction, but I'll just say, look, this is another match lined up. This is another one here, Jason. It's a European side against an African side, and we have the exact same total, minus 160 on an under 2.5. Every single match between a European side and an AFCON side has seen nothing, like just nothing of quality, really. You saw it with Morocco, Croatia. Um, this is an unders match.
Unders match. Yeah, I'll be on the under. I can guarantee you that. I jumped on the under. Speaking of which, and we'll get to it here in our score prediction that you've abandoned. um, I already, it's fine.
I don't know. Some of these are tough.
I don't. I know it's tough.
Yeah.
It's fine. I already gave out the under on Portugal Ghana. I gave out that under on Portugal Ghana minus 113. Sign me up.
I love that. Yeah, it's another one exactly that. Yeah, I would just say like going through what is your best look.
All right, that's what I'll do. The best bet, no score prediction.
What's your best look? And so yeah, it would be unders for me in Switzerland, Cameroon, and I would be in full agreement with you. Switching over to Portugal, Ghana, it would be another European side going up against an African side. And what have we seen thus far? That there just hasn't been a ton of quality. The African sides have been able to impose their will into the matches and impose their tactical nous and their strength and their aggressiveness and their athletic ability has caused these European teams some problems. So it would be unders.
Unders, yeah. Okay. We already did Brazil, Serbia. We both like over. Oh, here you go. Iran and Wales. I think my best bet could be that Iran double chance. I'd have to go look it up, but maybe an Iran double chance. This one to me also could be maybe low scoring. I was not impressed with Wales. We were easily the better team. We were robbed of those 3 points. What a terrible penalty to give away. Just stand him up and his back's to the goal and just play him. Like, don't go through him. That's so bad. We were easily better than Wales. That one
I
that
think
that
we
loss
were
hurt.
we were 10 out of 10 times better than them in the first half. They were better in the second half. I thought actually that draw was fair, but just you have to ask yourself, what is Walker Zimmerman doing there? You
Yeah.
know, you just let him go. He's not going to score from there. You don't need to engage into the
Actually,
challenge. But for this one,
yeah.
yeah, Iran double chance for me. It would be I would be trusting in Iran and betting against this Wales offense.
Hmm.
You know, I look at the under 2.5 at -180, and I say that that's priced correctly.
Okay. Let's move it over here to Qatar, Senegal, where initially I would lean an under, but boy, we saw how bad Qatar was. And also, Senegal, I thought, deserved a goal in that first half. I liked their pressing against the Netherlands. Thought their work level earned a goal. They were just missing that last touch or obviously the finish. Obviously, if you're not going to get it. But, I mean, seriously, like that's, just we're just missing that. But I'll go to maybe a not knowing the price of Senegal money line. Senegal should beat Qatar, so I like Senegal here.
Yeah, Senegal or -160.
Okay.
I don't know this one. This I'm gonna fully pass on this. I do not know because you're now going to ask Senegal to be the engager. You
Yeah,
know and I don't trust Senegal in that
they
kind
looked.
of
Yeah,
engagement role really to break someone down, and I think that it could. Actually, it's just a weird match that Senegal aren't really used to, and they don't have anybody to finish off their chances. They
I
don't have
know.
Sadio. Like Sadio would be so big in a match against Qatar, but they don't have him, and so it's just a full pass.
Then we got Netherlands, Ecuador, also on Friday, starting to get in a late Friday morning. This one, based on the first match week, I'm not reading too much into Ecuador. I mean, I still think Netherlands is better. That's just really kind of how bad Qatar was there to kick it off, and for a host nation that had never lost, boy, did they look bad.
Yeah, but
Netherlands probably gets it. I probably think under in this one. I wasn't really over impressed with Netherlands. I remember our match day preview. I said it'll come down to large in part, how like Frankie De Jong plays. He played terrible. There were so many times where he could have pulled the trigger, and there was most notably one right inside the box. He could have had a goal. He was messing it up for me a fair amount. Maybe a game and 90 minutes gives him some help, but I'll go under.
yeah, I don't rate Frankie De Jong that high, honestly. I just think that he's like he doesn't have like a good midfield position.
Yeah,
You could say like he's probably better in the holding role. He's not an attacking midfielder. He's too slow.
yeah,
For me here, I think that Ecuador are the side. I think that the under is fair enough because Ecuador they just don't concede goals. They
mm-hmm.
don't do it. They don't do it. So I would rather be with Ecuador in the draw for sure. And Netherlands, like, they're going to need a full 90 minutes out of Depay. And you have to ask yourself, do I even rate Memphis Depay that highly? And the fact is I don't. I think
Yeah,
he's good. I think he's the best striker they've got. But I think that Ecuador are good enough. I would trust the South American sides. And I would go Ecuador or the draw and, Ecuador and the draw. So the double chance or,
mm-hmm.
yeah, like unders and just betting on Ecuador, their defense. That I don't think that Netherlands score two here.
Yep.
I don't think that Ecuador scores a lot either. Two good, two really solid defenses. So I'm actually surprised that like if you want to talk about something that is probably off market right now and will move. I think it's this one. I think that this under 2.5 before it kicks off, Jason. Right now it's at -130. It's going to be at -160.
Yeah, I like it. I'm more than likely going to gobble it up. Probably throw me in that bucket. All right, let's look at this next one here. Tunisia versus Australia. We've all got this one circled as the set the DVR and make sure you watch it. Definitely not getting my money, man, in any fashion. I can't even come up with a bet for the people. Unders or who cares? Like, you're not betting Tunisia versus Australia, people. Don't do that to your wallet. What do you?
Yeah, nothing really. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. Like I'm pissed because the market on this was fairly even going
Mm-hmm.
into the tournament. This was one to look ahead and see really like we should have seen coming that France were going to rip Australia a new one, and we thought that Tunisia would be competitive enough. And so now you're seeing the market completely cool on Australia, where there's probably value. There's probably value on Australia, but I can't do it to myself. So,
Ouch. Nope.
I think that Tunisia actually win the match,
Okay.
but not enough to bet it.
Yep. All right, let's go to another big one on Saturday. What about Poland and Saudi Arabia? Do we really believe in Saudi Arabia? I'll tell you, I was a believer in their second half, and uh, yeah, they were just all over Argentina. Did really good. Can they do that against this Poland squad? Sure. There's nothing to think they can. We talked about the Poland Mexico match, how kind of bad that was. Lewandowski missing just a terrible penalty. Just can't score in a World Cup game. So just stop putting him in your anytime goal scoring parlays, because the World Cup is when he actually takes his holiday. And he will not be scoring any goals throughout this World Cup or any World Cup. So I would leave with Saudi Arabia just because Poland is trash. But another game where, just like Tunisia, Australia, probably lean the under again in Poland, Saudi Arabia.
I'm with you. I think that the market has obviously moved and adjusted and made some big adjustments probably to this one, and I agree with it. Like I agree that I think that Saudi Arabia on the double chance is probably the look here. There is no way you're going to give me 90 minutes of Saudi Arabia basically saying, "Come on, Poland, come and break us down," because holy shit.
Yeah, right.
This team can't really do it. But again, this is a you have to ask yourself though. Again, when you really are breaking it down, this is a flip flop of how the match in Mexico Poland went, because Poland kicked it to Mexico. They said, "Come and break us down." Now it's going to be the opposite. Poland are going to be the one, engaging.
Mm-hmm.
So, which just also makes me just want to just not bet this one. Like I think that Saudi Arabia, there's value on them. I think that they can hang, but I really have no interest in betting this.
Okay, good. Neither do I. We'll skip the next two matches on Saturday because we already talked about France and Denmark and Mexico and Argentina. The next one here is Japan and Costa Rica. From everything I saw today, I want to just bet Japan's probably team total, Japan to win the game by some margin, just to keep on smashing Costa Rica. I saw more than enough out of that Japan team up against Germany today. So you with me on that one, Matt?
Yeah, I think that Japan, halftime, full time, Japan just first half and get out of there, minus 110, halftime, full time, plus 110. I think that Costa Rica, like, yes, you have to ask yourself, like, Costa Rica, they were up against Spain. Spain is, like I mentioned, probably the best side in this tournament to break down a low block. And now you're going to ask Japan to do it.
It's
Again, it's
true.
a
Got to factor
different,
that in.
it's just, you're flipping everything around. That's what you have to remember when you're handicapping these matches
Or
and,
will
and
Japan
you
or
want to
Costa?
place a
Yeah,
bet.
my bad. Finish. My bad.
No, all good. Just, no, no. It just, but I just want to, like, Japan today were being engaged by Germany. Now everything is flipped. So like you just have to remember that when you're going through these, like, okay, Japan was the team sitting back. Do they have enough in attack to break this team down? It looked to me like Costa Rica were so bad defensively that just about anybody, if you give them a good focused 45 minutes to open up a World Cup match, that team will score. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it looked like. I think that Costa Rica is probably the worst team in this tournament, and then they just caught Spain in a wrong place. But what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say for Costa Rica, in terms of them sitting back, here against Japan. If you look at the teams in their group, if they were gonna look, Japan was probably the only one they figured they could like have it a go at. So I think maybe they just don't sit back and maybe it's semi-open. They're not gonna do anything against Spain, Germany. This was their one opponent to have some fun at this World Cup and play some football. So maybe it'll be a butt open. But if you're right, if not, then maybe Japan could struggle to break them down. Maybe not. But I'm expecting a touch more open out of Costa Rica. If they're going to play like that against Japan, they're going to play like that against Germany. And what are you doing in this World Cup? Like, what'd you come here? Just play defense for, what is that, 270 minutes? Like, that was fun.
I mean, they shouldn't be here.
You're
They're
right.
not. They shouldn't be here. That's the one thing about this tournament that does suck. Like it's like Concacaf shouldn't be given 4 spots.
Yeah.
Concacaf should be given like 2 or 3. Like
Yeah.
this should be for some European side. Honestly, that's just like Italy. Can you imagine Italy like somewhere in this
Yeah.
tournament? Like come on now. Like Italy would
Love that.
absolutely roast Costa Rica. They would roast them. So maybe a good live angle. Watch, but the problem is that the match is very early. It's at
4
5
a.m. Yeah.
a.m.
Or 5.
your
Yeah.
time. But I bet if you watch this one for the first 10 minutes, you saw some good connection and link up play between Japan, you would say, I'm going to press that
Hammer,
button.
hammer. All right, let's get over now to Belgium, taking on Morocco. Obviously, Belgium pulling out that 1-0 victory they just got just a second ago there. And then Morocco, that 0-0 snoozer there against Croatia. Um,
Under
Belgium will
2 point.
win, but Morocco's not going to do a whole lot. I think Belgium certainly got lucky. Canada deserved goals. Belgium flat out got lucky. That game should have had more goals. I don't know. I'll have to see how I feel come around Sunday, but surely back in Belgium from a 3-point standpoint, but from an over/under, Belgium wasn't that great in attack. They
They
were
did
not.
not
They were
look that
not
great.
great at
De
like.
Bruyne actually
They were
didn't look
not
that
good. Man, De Bruyne
great.
then. Probably
Yeah,
just
no,
take another under. It's another African team.
I
Morocco
think
probably just take another under.
I think it's yes. I think that what the overs, I think that there will present a decent amount of value on the overs once we get out of this group stage. The quality will rise. Yes, it's still knockout tournament football though, and you always when you're betting overs, you're betting on teams to basically come out and not be scared because these teams are like some of these managers are scared when they want to play not to win the match but play not to lose it. So you really need to identify who you're kind of rocking with. But I do think that once the quality kind of the cream rises to the top, it's going to in this tournament. I think that there will be some value on these overs.
Okay.
But right now, it's a European side, Jason, going up against an African side. So unders.
All right. I got one more game. All right. Last game here is Croatia and Canada. Croatia and Canada. Boy, based on what I saw today, Canada and possibly some double chance. Probably maybe some double chance. I did not, obviously, like most people, not awake at 4 a.m. to catch the snooze fest that was predicted and that we cashed for the Morocco-Croatia likely snooze fest. So
I watched the second half.
it was bad, I'm sure.
It was pretty bad. Yeah, Croatia didn't do anything. Croatia didn't do it. Honestly, Morocco were better. So I think that Morocco can hang. I'm not sure about Canada though. I would just again, it's a European side going up against a CONCACAF side. I would have no interest backing the CONCACAF side.
Yeah.
I think that they can hang though. That's a tough one, man. I really have no feel for Croatia, Canada.
All right, guys. Those are all the matches. While we've been sitting here, I've locked in some official bets for Thursday's stage game. So these are bets for Thursday's game that I've got. That I'll be tweeting out a little bit later on. Uruguay money line. You guys already know that. Same bet in this game. Godin, center back, to have 1+ shot, plus 105. I've locked that in. Portugal, Ghana, going with under 2.5. I gave that one out earlier. Switzerland, Cameroon. I'm going with, or those are Friday. Switzerland, Cameroon. No, that's under. That one's tomorrow too. Under 2.5. And Brazil, Serbia, over 2.5. So I've bet every game tomorrow. Basically, I've bet every game plus the player prop there and go in at 1+ shot at plus 105. Let's cash, boys. It's Thanksgiving. You guys can hear my son. He's excited to go make that Thanksgiving. So then tomorrow we can throw that bird, stuff his butt, and throw him right on in that oven. So happy Thanksgiving to you, Matt. Hope you have a nice day and have a nice holidays, and everybody else out there that's been hanging in with us, enjoying this World Cup. Happy Thanksgiving. Cash some bets over these holidays.
Roast the bird, baby.
Roast the bird. All right, see you, Matt.